Defining success. This is another thing I'd like to talk about. So many of us have been brought up to believe that we need to be successful. What is success? Success is, defined today as achieving something, some kind of concrete goal, doing well in your job, business, career advancement, selling 1 million products, even more so in today's day and age. Success online would be how many followers you have, all that kind of thing. So for myself and those of you who grew up or lived through the 80s and 90s, I really do believe, especially in the 90s, so I went to high school in the 90s roughly, and actually late 80s as well, and there was this sense of, I feel that we were driven as, and also not just young people, also females in particular as well, to achieve. First of all, you achieve your grades, and then you achieve through postgraduate study, and then you achieve through whatever job you do, and then you achieve through progressing in that career. It's achieve, success. And you are judged or feel judged by how much success you do have. I'm not just speaking of that time, just general now as well. But the reason why I hark back to that time is because I feel that there was, feminism was also in the air in that time in a particular way, where it's like, girls go do it, you can do it. I mean, it's still the case now, right? And yes, girls can do it, boys can do it. But what is it we're supposed to be doing? Because, it's too much. It's too much. I don't believe God designed us to be successful. Yes, obviously God, if God were an individual, let's just personalize right now or personify God as a father, for example, wanting his daughter to achieve and be successful. All right, we get it, but to a point. However, I believe there's a deeper mission and deeper resonance and meaning and a deeper purpose of why we're meant to be here. And for me, success is in being who I am, the highest version who I am, showing love and kindness to my family, raising my children a certain way. And yes, it can be hit and miss. No one is perfect. You can surely have ideals and try your darndest. But let's face it, life is tough here on earth, okay? So in terms of work or life's calling, whatever it is that we're doing, whether it is through our actual work or through volunteering or other passions and hobbies or just other things we do, how we are out in the world with others, I would define success as reaching a level. No, actually, I take that back. There we go, level. It's just another thing, isn't it? Levels, hierarchies. I'm just really thinking on the spur of the moment here. So I would define success rather as, when we're looking at our life purpose, as risking being ourselves, risking and being brave to be vulnerable. And I really feel like a lot of those ideas come from Brené Brown, amazing advocate of this. And, it's taking a risk for those who dare to be brave, to be themselves, to do their life calling, whatever that may be, however big or small. We don't all need to be these massive Oprahs out there. No, it's in your own divine way. That to me would be success, honestly. And so because I have business interests and, I'm working on building an online school to extend my business, I do feel that sense of wanting to be successful. And in that platform, in that context, what I'm really meaning is I want to obviously feel that my time and my effort is rewarded financially, but also on a higher level, that in terms of that I feel that I've come here to do what it is I've meant to do, and I'll feel a great sense of honor and achievement and success from that. And that actually overrides everything else. When it comes to money, I'd rather that money just didn't even exist at all, and that, I would still be doing the same thing, right? So, however, I need to feel valued. And this is where we come to that point of value, because when we're younger and we're taught to in order to feel valued, we need to succeed, to be someone, to be this persona, to have this position, power. For some people, they really grew up in an atmosphere of status is everything. How you show up to the world is in what you have. That's success, material goods and gain. In truth, that isn't success, and it's not success to me. And I know that most of you will know exactly what I'm talking about and will wholeheartedly agree. But we're stuck in the paradigm of success and materialism in this world as it is in present. And it's been amping up and amping up and amping up. And now we have this new sort of hyper-stimulated society where social media and materialism go hand in hand. Like Insta fame, Insta success, right? And that's that fakery that actually leads to unhappiness. And a lot of us can see through that and don't enjoy that. In fact, it can just make us feel worse and take us down from our seats. And really, we just want to sit in a solid, sturdy chair and do our bit in the world, right? But it's like the carpet's being pulled from under us, the rug's being pulled from under us in so many ways, and it's destabilizing. Sometimes we end up comparing, whether we're conscious of it or not. So, so-and-so is so successful. Oh, look at like that person. Look how many followers they have, likers. How come that person who seems so fake doing those fake videos has 5 million views and, is getting YouTube awards, and what is it about that? Because I have honestly seen these videos. I mean, my kids watch these like crazy, stupid videos. But anyway, I've seen some of them. Some of them are funny. Some of them are just like, oh, well, they're teenagers, like now. I've got 2 teenagers now. And, and I just think, I can't believe they are making money talking about nothing or crap, some of these YouTubers. But it's that, Insta fame, isn't it? And but see, I got down a lot about that, say, for example, a year ago, because I'm not comparing myself to anyone. I'm not competitive, nothing like that. It's not jealousy or that kind of thing. I don't understand it. Like, for me personally, I never look at the trending tab in YouTube because to me, that's vulgar. Personally, I just don't like anything trending. I think I've always been a bit like that. Doesn't mean I'm walking around barefoot, okay, either. But I just, I don't understand 100% of things that are trending. I'm not interested in any way, in any shape or form. And I don't understand a lot of the teenagers now. They're into all that stuff. I get it, and we've all been there too on some level sometimes. But I guess the point in all of this is, how do we define success? And are you on some level comparing yourself to others? In a world of fakery and materialism, we have to put it all into perspective. Let's just move all of that aside. Put that Insta gloss to the side, like a glossy magazine that you just turn the pages of and put away. In fact, side note, I really haven't read any magazine for years and years and years and years. I really can't stand the things. So, and really they have such sort of, honestly, limited information and very superficial content. Okay. So, so now putting all that aside, come back to your essence, who you are, and we come back to the idea of authenticity. And this is about you now. And so stop comparing to other people, and we're all doing it on some level. We know it's all happening on social media all the time. It also doesn't help to feel that pressure and bombardment on social media through the ads that they run and the images that you see, and people with these glossy images. So for example, for me, I might see people who have these, like $5,000 photographs of themselves, studio portraits, or special photography, or in their $1 million kitchens, or I don't have that. I don't have the money to put into anything like that. But honestly, do I really want to? I just try to, as I've mentioned in my recent authenticity video, find a balance. And I try to just do whatever best photo I can according to my means at the time. And, maybe one day I might be able to do better photography, but do I need to compete? Do I need to have that glossy image? There are some people that will spend thousands and thousands of dollars to set up that's not being me. I've done everything in the most affordable way possible because it's not what I'm concentrating on. And also I don't have that extra funds. I'm working really backwards because I'm doing a lot of work that is unpaid in order to, get to the point of really, I'll put the word succeed in bunny ears, and to really succeed in my business and advance in my business plans. But it's important to remember to stay who you are and to reevaluate what success means to you personally. So for you, think about first, okay, where did I first get my idea of what success is? Who would I look up to, or who did I look up to in the past as being successful in bunny ears? What does success really mean to me? And how can I redefine what success means and how I fit into the picture of success, and what kind of success I would like in my life and what it truly means. So it's getting, through all the gunk and putting away all the facades and just going deep within yourself and examining it. And once you redefine not just who you are and what you want and how you want to be out in the world, it's who am I truly and what am I trying to do here? What is it that will fulfill me, that will make me feel accomplished and successful, that is not necessarily a certificate on the wall and some Gucci shoes? Okay, so, food for thought. I think there's a million things we could talk about even on this topic, but let's just use this as a stimulator for growing intuitively and authentically, to help us think and realign ourselves, okay? Because this is the energy that's leaning this year, is towards coming back to yourself, being more of yourself, and walking freer along your own path. And that's hard for some people to see, but redefining our sense of self-value and who we are and how we value ourselves, how we were not valued in our past, what we look for to gain value, to feel self-esteem, to feel okay. It's all connected. And our ideas of success are connected to this too. Do you feel like a failure? That's the opposite of success. How have you failed? What have you failed in? Like failure is very much a part of the journey, the bumps. There's pros and cons, good times, bad times, successes, failures. Okay, and again, all these words in bunny ears, right? So sometimes we need to flop in order to succeed. But we learn through everything, okay? So are you hanging on to failures? Are you scared of failure? Are you scared of success? These are all things that come up in our subconscious minds and can form blockages in our lives. So I hope that this message today gives you some sense of hope, dignity, grace, and faith, and a seeing, a knowing for your birthing or rebirthing sense of being, who you are, and how you see yourself in connection to the world around you, how you experience yourself in connection to others and the greater scheme of things, to pull you back into where you need to be, and to say it's okay to go off course and, and get real. It's okay to admit these things. I can admit failures. I can admit when I might have been a bit obsessed about succeeding in something, or, we all have this. I went to university to prove myself, because deep down, not only I wanted it to do it for me, but I also went to an all-girls high school where success and that sort of, I'll just loosely use the word feminist sort of drive and push for girls to succeed was there. I wanted to prove myself. I wanted to do the right thing. But also I was the product of divorce, and I wanted to prove myself to my father, who had on some level abandoned me. He was still in touch on some level, but he had moved away to get on to a better life for himself, disregarding myself. And that was another way to gain attention or to prove myself. But what I found is, after years and years of study and university life, it didn't, every accomplishment I achieved, whether it was receiving an A bursary at what we call an A bursary is in New Zealand, where I went to high school in my final year, I did achieve that. I wasn't receiving what I needed. So whenever I would, for example, tell my father of my successes, it really didn't, I got no response, or not the response that I needed, that I deeply craved. I was trying to prove myself to him, but moreover to myself. Actually, I wasn't like I was just doing that for him, because he's not even a university type person. It's just that this is the kind of emotions and subconscious things that can come up throughout your life. Why are you doing something? What's the real motivation behind it, right? I did do it for me, but there were underlying emotional currents underneath that. These are the kinds of things that come up in reading sessions. I do have a knack to get deep to the root of the matter, and I know that lots of my clients have experienced that through sessions. Let's get deep right in there, okay? So I don't usually talk about my private life in that way, but I'm happy to too. Hopefully you've learned something from that, and it helps you reflect upon your life. What are the subconscious triggers that you have, or reasonings behind how you do or see things or yourself? So I'll just leave you on that note, and remind you that your own sense of identity and self-value at the end of the day needs to come back 360 to you and what you truly believe, rather than doing or seeing things with in terms of how other people see you or what their expectations are of you, and to drop all of those facades and come back to purity. And if it needs to be that you need to clean your canvas clear and start again, then that's what it needs to be.